So yeah, fatherlessness and lack of masculinity is what the society is suffering from. We need more masculinity in society, not less. And the fact they attack me and try and get rid of me is somehow toxic, and to move everything into this feminine frame of feelings and maybes, and take depressive drugs when you feel sad, and it's all going to be okay, and men should be more in touch with their feelings. All of that is why we are the way we are.
Now, I don't normally bring personal stuff into my interviews. I'm very much there to hear the story. But I grew up without a father, and I would say my mother taught me the right things too. She taught me what the right things were. And I wonder, surely women can also play that role.
Absolutely, mothers are extremely important.
I mean, you say a lack of father, but in this case, the right kind of mother, or a mother who can be strong.
I would agree with you, but exceptions don't disprove the rule. If you were to look statistically, most males, who are from a single mother household are more likely to commit crime than from a dual parent household. What's interesting is, my mother and father split up at age 9, and I spent all of my teenage years without seeing my father. And here I am, a beacon of success, brilliant, tall, strong, smart, and funny. So it can be done.
And humble.
And humble. So it can be done, but we have to talk in generalities. And in general, if you have two parents at home, it's better for the upbringing, especially of boys, because boys commit a lot of the violence in society today. And this is another thing I want to make very clear. When we try and feminize men, which is what they're trying to do, they're trying to feminize men. They imagine these soft, eunuch version of men who sit at home and cry all day, and that is perhaps true. You do get some versions of men who act that way. But when you feminize a lot of other men, what you do is tell men to act on their impulse and act how they feel. And that's why you get crime. Murdering somebody is an emotional decision, as is rape, as is all these terrible, heinous crimes that happen. They're men with no emotional control and no self-control, told by society to act how they feel, expecting them to walk around talking about rainbows and butterflies all day. And instead, when someone makes them mad, they pull out a blade and stick it in his neck. So the whole thing is garbage. They're destroying society by destroying masculinity.
Andrew, isn't there a range though? I mean, you're suggesting a man can't be emotional. And yet you say you're an emotional man sometimes.
No, I'm not suggesting they can't be emotional. I'm suggesting they should have control over their emotions. We should feel emotion, and we should control them. A man should feel angry when it's time to feel angry, and he should control it. As with sad and everything else, there's a time you must simply perform and do the right thing. Just as the men on the Titanic felt fear and ignored it and went into the water to save the women and children. This is the bottom line of masculinity since the dawn of human time, is to do what you're supposed to do because you have a duty, not to do how you feel. I'm sure the men in the trenches didn't feel like running over the top, but they had to, because they were supposed to. That's what being a man is all about. And men should be waking up in the world today and say, I have to perform and act this way. I have to go to the gym even though I don't feel like going to the gym. I have to make money even though the economy is bad. I have to protect and provide for the people I care about. I have to do the right thing irregardless of how I feel. And the reason this is so important, is because a small contingent of men do think this way. And you as a man will never be able to outcompete the people who do if you're going to act on feelings. If you're only going to go to the gym when you feel like going to the gym, you're going to constantly lose to the person who goes to the gym irregardless of how he feels, because he's there every day. And it's a very competitive world we live in, especially for men. And there's have-nots and have-yachts, and it's getting worse. The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer.